Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we have part 2 of the Fourth Wing Wall College build from the Fourth Wing book by Rebecca Yarros. And today we have the map up on the screen. We're going to try and build the Citadel, which is this kind of top part on the map. It's supposed to be very luxurious compared to the bottom part of the build, which I did in part 1. And if you didn't see part 1, I will link that down below. It is another speed build with a voiceover. Okay, so before we start the speed build, I just wanted to show you what I got up to. Yeah, I went into debug and grabbed like a hell of a lot of rocks and trees and bushes, and I just filled out all of the edge of the terrain just to make it look a bit more something. I did add on a tiny little building there as well with some steps, and yeah, I thought if I did add in the scribe quadrant, then it could be linked to one of those little buildings. Maybe there'll be like a staircase or like a ladder or something. And I think one thing you might notice straight away is that I moved the parapet area. Just because in the Fourth Wing book, they climb like a load of stairs to get to the parapet. So I wanted to make this as dangerous looking as possible. So they now have to climb, yeah, a massive staircase to cross over. And I will throw up the map one more time. I think it looks really similar. Obviously, I've added in a lot more kind of like plants and rocks than, you know, the map shows. And the building itself isn't exactly the same layout, just because this is a massive 64 by 64 lot, but it's still not big enough. It's like trying to fit, I don't know, an entire castle inside of a shoebox. It's just, everything is not going to get in here. So I'm doing my best. Okay, so on to the build. This is the Citadel area of the Wall College. So we need to think battlements, turrets, stone walls, like I'm about to conquer an entire kingdom kind of vibe is what we're trying to go for here. I do look at the map and the layout of this building quite a bit. The only thing is, this is a small mountain and it's not the easiest thing to get a complete wall college onto. So it's not going to be exactly the same as the floor plan in the book, but I will try my best. Okay, so at the moment I'm playing around with the little turrets and just, yeah, trying to make this as big as possible. So I think actually the kind of battlements end up being very thin. They're only 1 square wide. In reality, it would have been nice to have this at least 2 squares, and I could have put more things in here. Maybe some, I don't know, suits of armor or a chair or something, just so this place would have been usable for the Sims. But as it is, this kind of battlement area is more for decoration than anything else. It's just, you know, it's just gonna look cool. I don't think the Sims will be able to use this at all. It's just gonna be just something in the background. Okay, at least, you know, the welcome wagon might not be able to get in here. Hopefully. They're gonna struggle. That is my plan. Okay, anyway, so the battlement kind of fencing I'm adding to, well, the battlements is custom content. I think if you do have that castle kit, then it will come with that. You won't need to get custom content. Yeah, but I don't have it, so there we go. For the battlements, I do play around with quite a few windows on there later. I know battlements in reality really don't have a lot of windows, but I wanted this to look kind of, I don't know, interesting to look at. If you just got a load of blank walls, it's just, you know, it's just a building with blank walls. I want this to be really cool, really interesting. Yeah, and just kind of fantasy-like. So that's why I'm going to add a load of windows to that later. Okay, this kind of, I don't know, almost kind of weird room in the middle. This, in the book, it's supposed to be kind of this glass dome dragon area. I don't know if I can fit dragons in that little tiny kind of domey room later, but we will see. But yeah, in the layout on the book, it does look like a glass dome, and I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but it's there and it's interesting and it makes the whole build look more interesting. Okay, so we're getting somewhere with the layout now. I think the main section of this build will only be 2 stories. I could have made it 3 stories. I think that would have been pretty cool. But then again, this camera, the Sims camera, was just jumping around so much as I was building this, because it is on a mountain and that's what it does. It jumps around, which is fun times. Yeah, so anyway, this is only going to be 2 stories, and a couple of rooms will be 3 stories, and then obviously we have the parapet turret, which is then 4 stories, which looks very intimidating. I would never want to cross that in my life. Like, if I had to go save a kingdom by training to ride dragons and fight on dragons, and I had to cross that parapet first, I would not do it. I would just be like, good luck to the army. I wish you all the best. See you later. I really don't like heights. I would never cross that in my life. Okay, so here we are with one more layer. I think this is our 3rd story. I think I don't know, this is such a weird kind of building again. The other section that we did in part 1 was also very odd. It's a very thin building. And this one is also very strangely shaped, and it's not my fault. If this was entirely my own idea, I would have made this like look a lot more, I don't know, just not as randomly placed. But because I do keep looking at the map in the book, and obviously the map, you can only really see the roof kind of situation, so I'm just trying to play with the roofing and the buildings, and place them how they are placed in the book. That's why this looks so interesting. Because I'm trying to see this tiny little map in a book and trying to place some random buildings to make it look as, close to the real thing as possible, well, as the map layout. Yeah, so that's why this is very strange, this whole structure. But don't blame me, blame the book. Or blame the tiny picture in the book. It needs to be bigger. I need to see like a whole drawn out image of this. But anyway, so I'm now playing with some roofing. I do play with the idea of making the roofing a little bit rounded. But then again, that kind of looks a bit like a Tudor house, or like an old kind of farmhouse with that kind of curved roof, which I don't really want that. This needs to be an epic wall college, not Tudoresque. So I do make that straight again later. Yeah, and then with the rest of the roofing, I always think roofing is quite hard to do. It's not my favorite. Actually, I think roofing is the worst thing to try and do in The Sims 4. I wish they had automatic roofing and it just whacks it on for you. Job done. You don't need to think about it again. But to be fair, if you look at this, I'm not that bad at roofing. I just hate doing it. It just takes me ages. So here I am trying to figure out what to do with this other section. Look at that. That looks so ridiculous. It's so pointy. Hate it. I do change that. I get rid of that later and try and sort it out to the best of my ability. Okay, let me try and give you some building tips. I'm not going to say I'm the best builder there is in the world, because I'm not. I just try my best and it normally takes hours. But I suppose building tip number 1 would be, don't do like a plain box shape. Try and do little sections that stick out. So if you look at the front section of my building now, which kind of face into the mountain area, I've got two little boxes that come out, which then makes it kind of interesting to put like matching windows on there, or maybe I could do like a little balcony or some foundation at the front and do like a little seating area out there. And yeah, just add in little sticky out bits. It's not great advice, but it's something. Some more advice would be to type in the move objects on sheet and also the show hidden objects sheet and show live edit objects sheet, because then you can access all of the debug items, and I use them quite a lot when I'm doing a fantasy style build. The best rocks, if you have the Magic Realm pack and the, I think it's the pack, Ferent pack. I don't know all the names. The Ferent one and the Magic one, they have some really, really good debug rocks in them. And how you're now probably thinking, like, what do you mean good debug rocks? What are you on about? So when you grab a rock from debug, sometimes they don't want to sink down into your terrain and they just kind of float and you're like, what the hell? You could go into the basement and then use one of the keys on the keyboard, I can't remember which one it is, and then make the rock kind of float up into the next level. But then again, I don't know, I always find that kind of a little bit hard to do, trying to like get rocks floating from the basement upwards to try and place one. So I do think that some of the rocks from the Magic kit and the Ferent kit, they are amazing. They kind of just go into the terrain how you want it to. They kind of merge in. So there's like this rock that kind of looks like it has a finger, like it's pointing. I think I've placed that in quite a few places. It looks like a kind of pointy finger rock. That's from the Magic Realm kit, and that debug rock, really, that's a great rock. It'll just kind of go where you want it to go, and if it doesn't, then you can just resize it, and then yeah, you should be able to get it where you want it to go. Same for bushes and trees. If you have a lot of gaps in between your rocks, you can then use the Alt key and kind of shimmy your chosen bush or whatever, or tree, into the right place. So you can see, like in the background of mine, I've got a lot of debug rocks and a lot of bushes in between things. That's because when I place the rock, there's some gaps, and I want it to kind of look a bit more seamless. So I will then merge a lot more plants and things in between each thing. Oh my god, be more descriptive, please. So in between the rocks, I will merge lots of plant life just to give it an overall nicer finish. There we go. That's much more descriptive for you. Okay, so back to the build. It's getting there, isn't it? I do like using the vampire kit. I don't know what they're called. What is the name? The little windows that you can add into the roofing. I think they do give a lot more interest to the roof, and also you can pretend there's like another level upstairs when you add in those little tiny windows. It then makes the whole building look a bit bigger. To be honest, when I'm looking at this now, those vampire windows in the roof do look a little bit big, but this is a fantasy war college, so it's not supposed to look 100% realistic. It is what it is. I just wanted to try and make this look as big as possible with this whole build kind of being a weird shape and only 3 stories high, and also on a mountain, which is quite hard to build on. I don't recommend building on a mountain if you don't want your screen to jump around like crazy. Okay, so I think I mentioned in part 1, I'm not going to decorate the inside of the buildings. if you really did want to see like the whole build decorated on the inside, then please leave a comment down below, because I'm not opposed to doing it, but because this jumps around a lot, it is a little bit hard to, you know, decorate. It gets really annoying. Even just doing the outside stuff, I had to like really zoom out so it didn't jump around so much. Yeah, so just leave a comment down below if you did want me to decorate the insides, and I will get onto that and do a part 3 of this Wall College build. Yeah, so I'll do that next week if anyone wants that. If not, I will leave it blank inside, and then you can just imagine it being filled out. Although honestly, I'm not sure what I would put inside a Wall College. There's not really too much going on. Maybe some sort of old paintings, probably very sparse kind of furniture. If they are training to be, you know, fighting with dragons and things, I don't think there's really too much going on inside. They'll just have a lot of training kind of stuff. They'll probably have a nice big cafeteria area. I know Violet, the main character in the story, she does use some poisons, I believe. Although I don't know if that's like telling too much. Okay, just ignore that. I didn't tell any spoilers for the book, okay? Anyway, so secretly she does use some poisons, so I could make some sort of garden which has some kind of poisonous herbs in. I think I don't know what pack it is, but there's one pack or whatever it's called, where you can go to like go camping, and then you can go pick up some like poisonous mushrooms and plants. So I could do that. I could do a whole room with like poison plants. And obviously cafeteria, they can probably do some beds over here, like a whole room of beds lined up. They wouldn't need anything like a TV or lounge or, yeah. I just think that if I was to make this very accurate to the book, yeah, my Sims would not be happy in here. I don't know where they would get their fun from. I don't know, maybe if they like the outdoors, they could just go, I don't know, stargazing, cloud gazing, or whatever. Or maybe if they liked exercising, I could put a lot of like exercise equipment out here. If I did have the pack which has the sparring option, I think that would be pretty good. Just because there is some kind of cool areas where they could spar. Yeah, but apart from that, if I did decorate the inside, the Sims would be quite bored. I could just imagine them being very unhappy. And also probably getting lost or stuck somewhere. Like, please, I can't get out. I'm like, I don't know how to help you. I don't know how you even got stuck in there. I think actually one time I did build a house, and then somehow one of my Sims got stuck behind the stairs, and I have no idea how they even got down there or how to get them out. I don't know. I think they just stayed there and died, which is very unfortunate, but it happens. This is The Sims. Okay, so I'm now going in on the battlements with some lovely windows and doors. Originally I didn't want too many windows down there, just because if this place was to be, you know, under attack, you wouldn't really want many windows, giant windows in your battlement area. But visually, I want to add as many windows and doors as possible to make this look very interesting to look at, because a big grey kind of blank building on a mountain will look hideous and horrible. I do not want to see that. I want to see something that's very interesting. Right. So anyway, I think we're really getting there actually. This place is almost done. I do add in some of the vampire windows from the vampire. Oh my god, is there a kit? There's too many things. There's like a kit or a set, or I don't know, a pack, vampire pack or whatever. I do add the windows from there just because those windows look the most like a window that a battlement would have. You know, the windows where you can just shoot your arrow from, They're like very tiny. It looks like a little slit. So yeah, the vampire pack windows look the most like that out of all the windows because most of the windows in this game are very modern looking now, and they do not suit this kind of War College epic build. And yeah, actually, if you're very new to my videos, hello, welcome, I'm Amy. I love to build in The Sims. I've been building for many years. I haven't really shown anyone what I've built before, and so I'm pretty new to YouTube. Hello. I'm also really new to making videos, so they're not the best quality. I am trying. I do watch a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to make better Sims YouTube videos. If you have any tips, if you make YouTube videos and you got any tips, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to hear them. Also this week I did get a new microphone, so hopefully the audio quality will be a little bit better than it is now. And I did also have one thing I wanted to ask. I have been trying to add in some like background music to these speed builds where I do the voiceover, but I don't know if you can hear it because when I tried listening to it, I tried listening back to it, the music was very, very quiet, which I don't mind, but I was just wondering, do you want the music a little bit louder? I don't know, or maybe just no voice or music. You don't want to hear this. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. Is the music too low? Do I need to make it louder, or is it just right? Right, anyway, back to the building. It is literally almost there. I do change the windows around again, just because like some of the windows in the main building, they look a bit too kind of, I would say like kind of like a French country mansion, and that's not the look I wanted. I didn't have the exact windows I would have liked. I wanted something more almost maybe medieval or castle-like, not kind of cathedral-like. I do have kind of cathedral-ish looking windows, which is custom content, but yeah, the windows at the moment I'm not 100% happy with. The front section of this War College looks a bit too nice. Do you know what I mean? It looks too, yeah, it needs to be more, yeah, like a dragons come here and you need to train with swords. So those kind of rounded windows with the white, I feel like they need to be changed. But anyway, it is what it is. I do cover some of the windows with plants, which does help, which is also another hot tip from Amy. If you don't like something, cover it in plants. Many plants, wall plants especially, are great to cover things. Like if a window doesn't quite fit where you want it to, or you don't have enough space to fit another window, cover that area with plants. No one will know, apart from you, but that's fine. Oh yes, so I add in quite a few of these suits of armor just to make, I don't know, make this build look more alive. Obviously, you know, this build should have a lot of, you know, cadets running around training for the war. But obviously you can only have 8 Sims, so that's not going to be enough for this giant build. So I added those suits of armors everywhere to make it look like there's kind of knights standing guard, waiting to be attacked by dragons. Yeah. Also, what else did I do? So in the book, on the layout of this kind of Citadel area, there isn't actually any kind of back sitting area, which I did add. So the Citadel, it just has the battlement area and then the building, and it's just supposed to have like kind of plain fields around it. But I did then add in a kind of a giant sitting area, just so that, you know, if Sims are going to eventually live here one day, they can have a barbecue area. Or maybe I can even put a little hot tub out there, like a lovely War College hot tub. You know, after you've been riding your dragon and you're all sore and aching, there's nothing better than a good soak in a hot tub to heal your little bones. I don't know if they would, yeah, they would love it. They would love it. they would love a little hot tub out there. So I think literally we are almost done. I'm playing around with a few more windows just because I wanted this front section, like the entrance to the Citadel, to look a bit more majestic, a little bit more intimidating. I don't know, it doesn't really look that majestic and intimidating, but it is what it is. We've only got so much space to play with. And to be honest, I wasn't too sure about adding that many plants around the edges, but it does add a lot more interest to the building. I think in the book, the build, well, this whole place must be very sparse if it's on top of a mountain with like a shit ton of dragons flying around. But I wanted to add in a lot of trees and things because I needed to hide a lot of terrain. So here I am using the Alt key quite a bit to place these items. These are not debug actually, they're from like the shrub section. And yeah, I just had a lot of weird stuff to hide because this terrain is it looks lumpy and strange. Also in the Fourth Wing book there is, I can't remember what it's called, but they have to do this sort of test where they climb up this area and it's very dangerous. Some people die. So I'm trying to mimic that at the moment. So this kind of weird outdoor going up to the mountain area is supposed to be kind of like that that test where they climb a dangerous mountain. But instead of it being dangerous, they can just go up and see the dragons, which I will place there later. I think realistically, I don't know what the Sims would do up there. Maybe I could add a little bonfire. And maybe the one from the werewolf pack would be pretty good because they can then do fire dancing around there. And that would, that would actually look pretty cool. You know, the Sims just fire dancing on a mountain. Yeah. And what else? I am going to unspeed this video in a minute just so I can show you the finished build. I do go out of this and finish putting in a lot of debug rocks and debug plants just to fill out all of the edges and kind of fill in all of the blank spaces that I don't want people to see. Oh yeah, here's one of the CC dragons, which look insanely amazing. If you want to know what content creator made that on CurseForge, please let me know down below in the comments, and I will send you a link to them because these dragons are amazing. Look at them. Look how cool that is. I don't know even how you would make custom content. I'm just amazed. It looks insanely amazing. Anyway. If you've made it this far through the video, thank you so much for watching. I do keep thinking like, who is going to watch these videos? Why am I doing this? Why am I making these? So if you have been watching, thank you so much. Please leave a like or a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the build. What do you think? I think the Citadel came out pretty well actually. It's supposed to be much more fancy than the first building in part 1, which I think I achieved. Apart from the shape of everything, it's just, yeah, if I had more space, I'd make the whole shape look less awkward. It's more weird. It's really weird. But overall, it looks fine. Just, you know, if you looked at a floor plan of this, it would just be weird as hell. That's why I was planning to leave the insides blank, just because trying to build everything inside would be really interesting, to say the least. Yeah, okay, so we're almost there with the Fourth Wing College. If you have read the book, what did you think? I haven't actually read the second or third book yet. I've started the second, but I've been hearing so many comments about the third book saying, like, people are shocked. People are shocked from what I've heard, and I'm just like, what the hell happens in the third book? Maybe there's some more interesting things I could build from that. I really should get reading it. Or if you have any books that you would like me to read and then kind of recreate in The Sims, if they've got any kind of cool buildings, then please let me know down below, because I'll be really interested in building it. Right, here we go. We're going to speed it down, slow it down. There we go. Yeah, speaking to yourself for like 30 minutes for a voiceover for a video is really weird. I think you should try it. Okay, so here we are. Our final build. We have a little bridge, we've got a little ravine. This is a lovely little citadel with all the dragons, which look bloody amazing, don't you think? And as you can see, I added in a lot of the rocks and a lot more like bushes, and yeah, just merging together of rocks and bushes just to fill this whole area out and get rid of any little bits and pieces that look kind of awkward or not finished. So if we go, not that far down, if we just have a little look at this courtyard area, I didn't really put anything in there. It's just kind of, we've got some of those little suits of armor and that's about it. And then, yeah, there's nothing else in the other build, well, in the other building areas. Building in the building? Oh my god, okay. I think I will add a tiny little bit of terrain paint over here just to make it look a bit more like rocky, stony and rocky. This is where dragons live and lay their eggs. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the speed build, and I will be back again this week with a Korean apartment build, which will be very, very interesting to do because I've never built a Korean apartment before. I live in one, but I haven't built one in The Sims, so I will be back this week very, very soon, maybe in about 2 days, with that Korean apartment build. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Or if you don't want to, that is fine by me. And I'll see you in the next building. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that little dragon. So cool. I think I do make that yellow. Yeah, yellow one. Nice. Look at that. It looks really cool. I need to get my Sims in here to play test it. No one's been in here yet. I don't know even if it works. It should work. They just don't even have anything. They don't even have a toilet. Alright, anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Thank you for watching.